Corley and McKelvey.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's an interesting opportunity to speak on the Policing Cost Recovery Amendment Bill for reasons I shall go into shortly. Before doing so, Mr Speaker, I just must mention the fact that before dinner we were speaking on the Organised Crime and Anti-Corruption Legislation Bill, which I guess has got something to do with the police as well. But at that time the great race was on, of course, and you'll be pleased to know, Mr Speaker, that a horse from our very own district ran third in that race. Pretty good effort by the Rangitikei Wanganui contingent. Anyway, that's my piece on the Melbourne Cup. Very locally trained in the Turukina Valley, Shumaroni. No, but I did win the sweep. back to the bill, Mr Speaker. I'm in I guess a position of almost like I have some kind of an interest in this, because I am Chairman of Special Olympics New Zealand, which will be one of the bigger users of this service in New Zealand, because we, like many other voluntary organisations, vet check all of our volunteers, coaches, drivers and everyone else, and so a significant number of people. And I think that this proposal has been around for quite some time, and I guess for voluntary organisations it's going to be an interesting debate, and contrary to what the previous speaker said, we don't do what the government tells us to do, we do what is right. And I think most voluntary organisations do what is right in this respect, and that their policy is designed to ask for these kind of checks. Now, whether they're police checks or whatever kind of check it is, they're designed to ask for those type of checks. And they do it for exactly the reason that Chris Hipkins mentioned, and that is to protect the people who are in need of protection. And in Special Olympics case, of course, it's our athletes, seriously in need of protection. So the debate really for us is, and I think for this House is, what is the best way to deal with this? And there's clearly a lot of commercial interest in this very same issue. So there's going to be some conflicting submissions as we go through this process. So the voluntary organisations which make their own choice to ask for these vet checks, and then there's all those other organisations that use it commercially. So it's an interesting debate, and Mr Speaker, I think on that point it will be interesting to see where it gets to, and I certainly have no problem recommending this bill go to the next process. Thank you, Mr Speaker.